everyone, I'm Victoria and today I'm going to be doing the autofill interview. So today what we're going to be doing is going through the most asked questions about bras found on google.com. It's going to be fun. A lot of misinformation about bras. A lot of people don't really understand how they're supposed to fit. So I'm guessing we're going to see some pretty pointed questions today. Are bras bad for you? And the answer is basically no. There's basically no evidence that bras have any health effects in either direction. The only time you're really going to come into problems with a bra is when it's the wrong size, which might lead to back pain or shoulder pain. In general, no, bras are not bad for you. Are bras good for you? Emotionally, I think so. Again, not really any evidence either way. If you have back pain because of your boobs, or shoulder pain, then yes, bras could be good for you. They can be a really helpful support garment in those cases. Most of the time though, bras are providing much more of an aesthetic and a comfort purpose than any kind of a health purpose. Are bras necessary? Not for most people. If you feel like you've never had a problem without a bra, you probably don't need one. Again, if you have had back pain due to your breasts in the past, then it might be a little more necessary, but for the majority of us, they're not really necessary. It's more of, again, an aesthetic comfort choice. Are bras underwear? Yes, bras are underwear. This is kind of a funny one because it's like linguistically and in the market, bras are underwear. If someone says underwear, they might not mean bras. So that's gonna kind of depend on the situation, but in general, yes, bras are underwear. Are bras uncomfortable? Sometimes. Usually if they don't fit right or if the materials aren't very good or if the construction isn't good. Generally it's either because the bra is bad or the fit is bad. They can be, but they don't have to be. Are bras supposed to be snug? Yes. So bras should not be so tight that they are constricting anything, but bras should be snug enough that they're not moving around at all on your body. So if you feel like you're adjusting your bra during the day, it's probably not snug enough. Are bras bad? This is definitely my favorite of the questions. Really depends on who you ask, I guess. I don't think so. As with all things, I think that their nature is neither good nor evil, but simply how they are used. Thank you. Now we're going to be getting into how are bras. How are bras supposed to fit? In general, bras are supposed to fit snugly. They're not supposed to move around on your body. The wire should fit right beneath the breast and sit pretty flat. The straps should not be digging in, and the band should be laying parallel against the floor. The gore, that's the middle part between the two cups, should be laying flat against your chest, and overall nothing should be digging in individual points, but you should feel a general snugness all the way around. How are bras? How are bras measured? Now this could either be referring to how do you measure someone for their bra size, or how are they measured when they're being made. So I'll answer both questions a little bit. When it comes to how we measure people in order to get them in the right size of bra, generally you're getting the under bust measurement and the bust measurement. Some people get more, some people get less, but that's usually the people who can like do it by eye. And then you are getting the ratio of one number to the other, right? So we have our bust measurement, which is bigger than our under bust measurement. So you're gonna subtract one from the other and say, all right, well, I know the under bust, we measured it at 32, so the band is a 32. And we know that there is a 3-inch difference, so I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. We know that there's a 6-inch difference, so we know that this will be a triple D. I think that that's right. I was trained not to get the bust measurement. We would just get the under bust measurement and go from there and kind of like eyeball the rest of it, and that usually worked, but some people do more. How are bras measured when they're being made? So the two things that you're basically looking at are the length of the band and then the size of the wire that you're putting in. So if you have a wire for a 32D, that's gonna be the same wire as a 34C. Those are essentially the two measurements you're going to be looking at. When it goes up in the band is stretchier, and when the ratio goes up as well, you're going to be putting in a wider, generally, wire. How are bras sized? So as I said, this really comes down to a ratio. The size itself is kind of on a chart, the best way to understand it. And it's going to be sized by that underbust measurement and then a letter that corresponds to the difference between your bust and underbust measurement. Lots of different ways you can find those tables. So when it comes to how our bra is sized, different countries have different exact systems, but it's pretty much always going to be the underbust size and then a letter that corresponds to the ratio between the bust and underbust. How are bras doing? How are bras made? This is a great question. I think there's a lot of confusion about how bras are made. Bras are made with a lot of difficulty and intricate sewing and expertise. Generally, if you're looking at a wire bra, you have a few different pieces of fabric. You're gonna have your band. You'll have multiple support things, different elastics, different kinds of extra mesh and everything that go into that to stabilize it. The cup is made up of anywhere from 1 to usually 3 is the most panels, and those are attached to the band. And then the wire is added in using some channeling in between those two on the seam right there. I think that the real question that this is asking is, in general, how are they made in a factory? And the answer is those pieces are cut out and they are given to people who then on their machines sew them together. Why are bras so expensive? Mostly it's because of what I just explained. Bras are really complicated to make. It's a lot of little pieces of material. It's a lot of different kinds of stitching and a lot of unusual materials that make it more expensive than something of the same size normally would be. But I would definitely say in general, unless you're looking at luxury bras, it really comes down to the labor. These things are really hard to make, very technical to make, and yeah, it's expensive to pay people. So uncomfortable. In general, bras are so uncomfortable because either you're not wearing the right size, you're not wearing the right shape, or it's just a bad bra. So a lot of bras just aren't made in a way that's going to be conducive to all-day comfort, especially over time. And any bra that doesn't fit, no matter how nice it is not going to be comfortable either. Why are bras measured in cups? Very funny. This makes it sound like they're measured in like cooking cups, but they're not, obviously. When you are trying to figure out how big someone's boobs are, it's actually a lot less helpful to go off of just one measurement than it is to go off the ratio. If you have someone who is 5 feet tall and really tiny, and they have a 38-inch bust, that's gonna be a lot bigger than someone who's really tall, maybe a little wider. If you're trying to judge those just based on like what size is your boob, then you're gonna have a really distorted idea of what size is what. So by going by cups, which are the ratio that we already talked about, it basically means that when you talk about one cup size, you're talking about a general idea of how that ratio fits on someone's frame. What you're talking about is, how does this sit on your frame? How does it affect you? How does it affect how your clothes fit? Why are bras? Why are bras called bras? Bras are called bras because the word brasier comes from the French word brasier, which means bodice. Yeah, and that's basically it. We just still use the French word for it. Same way we still use lingerie when we're talking about lingerie. Yeah, that's why. It's French. It means bodice. Why are bras a thing? This is a great question. I know I said that Are Bras Bad was my favorite, but I think Why Are Bras a Thing is pretty top tier. Bras in general are a thing because people who have boobs often need some kind of support. And at the moment, with the current fashions we have, the lifestyles we live, and just our general needs, as well as what we're comfortable in, bras are the best way to provide that support. So bras are not the first ever form of bust support, and bras also didn't come out of nowhere. With the way that the fashion world is now, and with the way that our lives work now, they're just generally the best way to be able to provide that support to the highest number of people. And that's it. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this very professional production, and by my, I mean my graphic designer's exceptional work on those little plates and such. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you learned something about bras, or maybe you can send this to someone who has some of these questions, because I think that My answers are probably a little more straightforward than what you will actually find on the web. I will talk to you all next week. Bye.